Okay, hey guys, I have another replay and commentary here with my Reasoning Gate deck. I had a pretty interesting match today, and I feel like it shows off some of the card choices in my deck, specifically Sinister Serpent. So just wanted to show this match because it was particularly spicy. Okay, so this guy is playing. What is he playing? Chaos Control, it looks like. Um, Start off with a Scapegoat first turn, which is pretty ideal for me, especially because he has a Breaker. This is just like super ideal. I opted to not set the Raigeki Break because I had the Scapegoat, and I just want to hold in my hand. Maybe he rips a duo. I can use it to pitch for their duo if I want to. Okay, I use Reasoning here. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, never mind. No, I'm misremembering. I get the Jinzo. He's got Scapegoat, so it's irrelevant. But I rip Sacred Crane off of the Monster Gate, draw a card, and get in there for a little bit of damage. So he's got Scapegoats. He's got the meta follow-up play. Interestingly, before he left all my tokens there, I think it's because he had Tribe and he could wipe them whenever he wants. And right now he opts to not go for the Tribe, and he goes for the Metamorphosis play instead. He MSTs the back row in case I have Torrential or something. Takes the Jinzo, runs over the Crane. Okay, this is fine. I have a bit of a spicy play coming up. I get a little greedy here, and I premature first before the Giant Trunade, but I premature because like even if he negates this with Solemn Judgment or Dust Tornado or something, it doesn't really matter because I have the Scapegoat tokens and he can only attack once at a time. But I use the Trunade to return the Premat to my hand, as well as the Jinzo to my hand, which is the main reason I did this, because I can meta for my own Thousand Eyes, take his Thousand Eyes, and tribute again for the Jinzo. So I get rid of both his tokens. Pretty sweet. I'm in a pretty solid spot here. Except that, so interestingly here again, he has the Tribe, but I have 3 different types on the field, so you can't get rid of all of them. And or he could, but he'd have to waste his whole hand. But he has the Metamorphosis again, so he takes my Jinzo and runs over my Crane again. So a little bit of deja vu action here. Here I Heavy Storm, so that he's basically locked out, because he's got a 0 attack Thousand Eyes. Takes my token, don't really care. Got a spicy play here. Got the Chaos Sork, Dimension Fusion to get them back. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then what do I do here? Oh, this is spicy. I pitch the Crane to get Jinzo back, tribute the Sork since it can't attack, and then I pre-mat the Sork back, and that's that's a lot of damage. Or I pre-mat the Crane back just to get another drawn cheeky. That was 32 plus 24, 56 plus 28 is 84 damage, and he had 82 life. So perfect amount of damage right there. All right, game two. Game two was pretty crazy. I feel like I should have won this one, but it was pretty crazy. All right, he's got a sick going first hand. Thunder Dragon, Phoenix Wing, Trap Dust Shoot. Pretty good. Only thing is he didn't open up with a Trinity piece, so not too bad for me. But okay, he puts the Sork back. This is interesting. Like, he either puts a Demok or Sork back, but putting the Demok back, I don't know. That could have been the right play, to be honest, because now I'm going to Graceful. He saw I had Graceful, so he knows I'm going to pitch a Demok. This is good setup for me. And I drew another Sork and Dimension Fusion, so that was, I mean, putting the Sork back wasn't that great. I personally think Trap Dust Shoot is just not that good against Reasoning Gate. One, because they run a low monster count, and then 2, like, seeing what's in my hand doesn't really benefit you that much. It's like, what the game plan of Reasoning Gate is. It's like use Heavy Storm or Trunade, Chaos Monster and Dimension Fusion back. There's not really any surprises. The only things I'm going to set here are like Scapegoat and maybe a Trap, but it's going to be chainable, so it doesn't really get you too much, knowledge, knowing what's in your opponent's hand, or too much leverage. he put in a skill Dark Magician. I'm assuming he has that in the sideboard for aggro, and he just put in a card to kind of go aggro early on. Um, you know, to get in some damage before I can Dimension Fusion. But that's an interesting card to main or side in Chaos Control. I'm chilling here. I just pass. I can keep chilling, or so I think. He bounces the back row in case I have something good, which I did. It was Torrential, so heads up play on him. Tributes the skill Dark for Thunder Dragon and turns it into a Bolter, which is really a good play against this deck. It makes my whole hand dead. But luckily I have the Scapegoats to block in the meantime. So I have, you know, quite a few turns before I need to start carrying. I get the Torrential back. Hand's dead. I set 2. If he has the heavy, it doesn't matter because this is dead anyway because of the Dark Bolter. So it doesn't even really matter if he has heavy. I put down both in case he has MST, because I need the Torrential to live here because it's what's gonna get me out of this situation. So that was my thought process there. Attacks 1, sets 1. Okay, I'm still chilling right here. I draw another out to the Bolter, which is nice. Let's see. He attacks, and the reason, let's see here. He attacks, and the reason I don't ring right away is I'm assuming he's going to try to, or I'm hoping that he's going to flip this card main phase 2, and then I can wipe them both with Torrential. So that's what I'm hoping instead of having to use my ring here. But I let the attack go through, but I do ring in the end phase because I'm afraid that he has, I don't know, maybe Decree, or I mean probably not Decree because he's running traps, but maybe he also has you know, Torrential or something. Sorry, not Torrential. I'm tripping right now. Judgment. I'm afraid that he maybe sets a Judgment right here, and I want to ring the Dark Bolter while I can. Sorry, it's a long day. Okay. I top deck Sinister, not that great, but I have the Mind Control for the face down, so it's good for me that he didn't flip it before. Get a draw off the Tokoichi. Hand is still dead, but I drew the light target, which is good. I set a Sinister, hoping that it lives, maybe, probably not, so that I contribute for Air Knight. He banishes for BLS. I'm not really sure why. He knows I have back row here. He doesn't need to go aggro. He knows this is probably Sinister Serpent. If I were him, I would probably just attack with the Dekoichi, but he goes, you know, unnecessarily aggro here. I messed up right there. That sucks. But I Torrential, and he chains Mystic Walk to gain 3,000 life, which is an interesting play, but pretty good, I guess. He's not going to get more than 3,000 life off Mystic Walk. All right, Sinister's coming back, and now it's just a monster that I can just keep setting every turn. Scapegoats. All right, let's see what he top decks. Breaker. Honestly, well, no, I mean, honestly, I would probably summon that Breaker first, maybe, and pop back row. Like, he knows this is Dimension Fusion, but maybe he's just being a good guy and pretending like I didn't flip it up and that he doesn't have the knowledge that this is Dimension Fusion. Maybe he's just being a nice guy, but I probably would have just popped a Dimension Fusion when I saw it with the Breaker, but yeah, maybe he's just being a nice guy. Let's see. Okay, I ripped the Reasoning. He calls 6. So right here, like, you know a lot about what your opponent has based on what they call here. They call it 6, so I know he has a live back row that he's trying to protect, so that should influence how I play. So I know he has the live back row right here. I've got the Dimension Fusion set, so I can't heavy, which is unfortunate. Well, it doesn't matter. He rings the Fusilia right away. Okay, that's fine. I'm chilling because I got a Scapegoat, and he's got a 0 attack, Thousand Eyes. I don't really care. If I were him, he's probably saving the extra spot. Maybe that's why he didn't summon the Breaker. Maybe he's saving the extra spot for Tsukiyomi if he draws it, so he can flip the Thousand Eyes, but maybe that's why he's leaving that spot open. Right now, I set the Crane. He can't attack it, or he can, but it won't kill it. This is interesting. He doesn't activate the swords. Like, I'd probably just be safe and activate the swords. He probably feels like he's safe. I don't know. But I'm in a pretty solid spot right now. I Monster Gate, grab Jinzo, make a big play right here with Chaos Orc and Dimension Fusion. And at this point in the game, I'm trying to find Lightning Vortex, which I sided in, because when I activate Dimension Fusion, he's going to get back these monsters right here. So I need to find Lightning Vortex, or I'm trying to find Lightning Vortex. So I end up getting Graceful and a draw off Crane to dig 4 cards deeper. You know, I feel like it's pretty solid odds, you know, 4 out of 11, it's like 40% chance. But I don't hit it. I don't hit it. So I decide to go for another Graceful Charity play right here. I tribute for Air Knight and bring it back again with my Dimension Fusion that I drew to dig another 3 cards deeper. At this point, it's, you know, another 3 out of 7. It's, you know, once again, almost like a 40% chance. But I don't draw it. I draw Pot of Greed though. Now it's like literally 50% chance that I find Lightning Vortex. Still no Lightning Vortex. I'm about to deck out. And I only have 2 turns to win, but really it's only 1 turn because I'm going to draw a card off of Air Knight. So I draw the card and it's still not Lightning Vortex. I attack with this first in case I, you know, got the Vortex. But yeah, so I only got 1 turn. And that card is Lightning Vortex, so if he doesn't have anything, but he has swords, so I can't win right here. But he just ends up summoning the Breaker, which is at 19. I have no traps because of my Jinzo, which is really unfortunate. And he just attacks over my Crane for game, so saving that Breaker actually did work for him in the end. Okay, game 3. Yeah, that was a spicy game. I literally went through 39 cards in my deck and did not draw the 1 card I needed to win, which I sided in. But okay. Okay, so right here, here's a pro tip. I have the Crane in my hand. I only play 2 Cranes, so I know that the opponent is likely to guess 4 right away with no public knowledge about where my Cranes are. So having this in my hand increases the chances of them getting it wrong by 50%. So that's why I have the reasoning right away before I give them knowledge of the Crane in my hand. Because my follow play is probably Graceful and then pitch Crane, but at that point, you know, they might not want to call 4 anymore and they might call 8. So I want to do this before they have knowledge. And also I'm playing Sinister Serpent in the deck, which I hit right here. That's another great thing about Sinister Serpent. It makes your going first turn, you know, significantly better in my opinion. Both because it can help with duo and also because first turn reasoning is, you know, better. It doesn't just leave, you know, a Jinzo and Air Knight on the field that your opponent can snatch or Thousand Eyes. So I'm chilling right here. Got a Scapegoat as well. He sided in Asura Priest, which is pretty good against this deck for multiple reasons. 1, it clears goat tokens, but 2, it does not leave a card on the field for me to take with Brain Control or Thousand Eyes. So that's pretty good. Sets a Scapegoat of his own. I'm chilling right here. Get the Sinister Serpent back. Just a recurring resource I can keep using. Interesting play here. I make Thousand Eyes with nothing to steal. I think you shouldn't be afraid to do this. 1, I'm going to get the Sinister Serpent back again next turn, so I'm just getting value out of it. 2, this is just a stall card, right? At this point in time, they either need to out this, and if they don't out this, then they probably don't want to set face down cards because I can take it with Thousand Eyes, and they can't attack. And when they get rid of it, I have a Dark in the Grave for the Dimension Fusion Chaos Sorcerer play. So they're forced to make a decision. They neither need to not play any monsters or deal with this card. And both of those situations are pretty good for me. So let's see what he does here. All right. Doesn't draw anything particularly good. And exactly, he has multiple cards that he could set, like Magician of Faith. That'd be a good set right now, right? And I would have Mind Control to deal with it, so it doesn't matter. But, you know, setting one of these cards would be pretty good, but he doesn't do that because of Thousand Eyes just chilling there on the field, right? So I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to keep stalling till I have my combo. I'm pretty close to it already. If I draw a Monster Gate, then I pretty much can just go off after that. And this is exactly why I did it, right? Because now he's wasting resources. He summons a tribe and he's trying to go aggro and he pitches a scapegoat just to get rid of this. And now I have light and dark in the grave, and that's totally fine because I mean now he doesn't have his tribe anymore. So doing that, just proactively instead of reactively, really makes your opponent make some suboptimal plays, especially if they're not that great. But I ring that just to get off the field. And now I go for Chaos Sorcerer play just to get some damage in there. He has a Scapegoat, which is not a problem for me. That's fine. I opt to leave all 4 tokens there because I don't want him to give him any spots, and I have the Lightning Vortex follow play anyway. So yeah, leave all 4 tokens there. Just don't want to give him too many spots to, I don't know. He's got Light in the Dark and Grave, so Chaos is always a threat. But so he proactively heavies because he's about to Metamorphosis my Sork. I have Scapegoat. He attacks all the tokens first with the Syrup Priest, pretty good. And then phase 2, he takes it with Thousand Eyes. But I got the spicy Vortex play coming right up. Sinister Serpent again coming in clutch here. Not clutch really, but putting in work. I decided to get a little bit aggressive and Dimension Fusion just for 1 for Crane. I end up getting a Reasoning. He hits 8. That's fine. I get in there for 1600 damage because I know he probably has just flip effects or a Syrup Priest. Summoning a Syrup Priest, really isn't a big deal for me. But he gets in there for 100. Don't really care. And I get lucky here, super lucky, and top deck a Chaos Monster. If I didn't, it wouldn't have bad because I could just keep setting that Sinister Serpent over and over. But interestingly, I don't think he should have gone aggro here and killed the Crane. I think he probably should have just set Magician of Faith and tried to start getting back Graceful Charity. I would have had a way to deal with it since I have Mind Control. But he doesn't know that, right? So I don't know. And putting the Crane in the grave gave me a light and dark in the grave. So I'm not really sure that was the best play there. But anyway, yeah, I hope you can see what Sinister Serpent does. Would really highly recommend trying it out before writing it off. A lot of people, it's unintuitive to play this card in a Reasoning Gate deck, and they automatically just write off Sinister Serpent. And I think that's because people don't realize you kind of have to alter the way that you play when you're playing Sinister Serpent in the deck. First of all, you might want to Reasoning first turn, whereas normally you probably wouldn't rip a Reasoning first turn, or at least I wouldn't. And then also, like, you have to keep track of when it's in the deck. If it's still in the deck, then you probably shouldn't make any plays, be it with Reasoning or Monster Gate, where you're solely dependent on not hitting Sinister Serpent. Otherwise, if you do, it'll cost you the game. So you kind of have to have some awareness there and play accordingly. But very seldom do I ever hit this very late in the game, and hitting this costs me the game. Usually, if I hit this mid or late game, I have a way to get rid of it, whether it's another Monster Gate or a Tribute Monster or something like that. But overall, on average, I feel like it benefits the deck a lot more than whatever downsides there are for Sinister Serpent. So yeah, give it a try. Thanks guys for watching. Until next time, peace.